We're gonna die.
I'm actually shaking.
You wanna go swimming?
I can pretty much lay down in here now.
Fish, fish, fish.
But I don't want to push things. If I push things, I'm gonna be in trouble, deep trouble. It's a good day to survive. All right guys, welcome to the Canadian tundra. As you can see, there's plenty of snow out here, which is going to help us on this no food, no water, no shelter survival challenge. You're probably wondering, how the heck are we gonna build a shelter when the forest is far away, like really far away? And the answer is we're not gonna be building it out of the forest. We're gonna have to build it out of something else. So keep watching to find out what and how we're going to build to survive. I got Adam, what's your channel called? Adam Stew?
Yeah, like that's Adam Stew, that's it.
Adam Stew, okay, that's easy enough. I'll link that down below. I'll introduce you to him a little bit later. Looks like we have a lot of work to do. And we also have to find some food, and we gotta find some water for the challenge. Of course, we're surrounded by water in flake form, and we don't wanna be drinking or eating that. So I have some tricks up my sleeve, and there are always new tricks. That's part of this whole challenge, is coming up with new things, new ways to survive. So if you guys find yourself in a crappy situation like we are right now, well, it's not crappy yet, but it's gonna get colder and it's gonna get darker, and we don't wanna be just out exposed in the middle of nowhere trying to survive. We also need some food. Did I mention food? Fire. No, not fire. It's not part of the challenge, but if we're gonna eat and drink, we're gonna need some fire. So, without further ado, let's get some work done. Adam, you up for shoveling? Okay, because if not, we're gonna be exposed. And I think in order of importance, especially for winter, is we need to get a shelter started at least, maybe not finished. So let's get going right now. Whew. Well, thankfully, I got my survival shovel. You should always have a survival shovel with you in the winter. I know you think I'm joking right now, but I'm actually not. A shovel is one of the most important tools you can have in the winter when you go out anywhere. It'll solve a lot of problems. For starters, you can make an easy windbreak. Obviously, we're getting a little bit more technical here. Well, maybe it doesn't even look technical. Maybe you can't even see it, but it's actually a mound of snow. It's the beginnings of what's called the quinzee. It's an ancient structure made by Inuit. No, they made igloos, but they had better snow than we do. Ours is soft and malleable and flaky. And so what we need to do is wait for this to sinter. It's a process where all the crystals become reshaped and bond together, and then we can hollow it out when we have more energy. Whew, I'm gassed. So I think Adam's turn to dig, because we got to fit 2 people in there, and it's only this high by that wide, and we need it to be at least as tall as a human being and at least twice the size of 2 human beings to fit 2 human beings inside, because we got to hollow it out. We can use some of the snow from the outside, but the worry is as soon as you pull snow outside and you put snow on top, it could cave in. All sorts of things can go wrong here, but all sorts of things can go right. I think Adam's got a couple lines out already in a row, so he's working on food. Let me bring you over there and I'll introduce you to Adam. He's the expert troutsman on this adventure. I'm taking no credit and no blame if we don't catch any fish, because he invited me out here. He's laughing. All right, let's go over meet him.
Oh, it's brisk. That is brisk. Well, we're not in Hawaii, that's for sure.
It's Adam Stew?
Yeah.
S-T-U?
Yeah, it's Adam S-T-E-W.
S-T-E-W, stew, like the stew.
That's it, yeah, Stewie, whatever you want to call me.
Right on. So I'll put the link down below, but so this, where are we gonna tell people where we are?
No, so this is
only I know.
You know, so it's a little top secret location here, Canadian Shield Lake. But yeah, nothing too technical today. We're just using minnows, and I find the smaller the hook, the better. You know, the minnows are gonna live longer. It's gonna give them a better swimmability action.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you can go anywhere from 6 inches to a foot. You're gonna wanna put I just put some split shots to get the minnow down there. We're fishing pretty deep today. The target species are, you know, lake trout, whiteys, burbot. You don't really know what we're gonna get. We can get into some smelt as well. So really multi-species chances out here today. In Ontario, we get 2 lines each. We're gonna get 2 lines both going here pretty quick and spread them out as best we can. And hopefully we hook up pretty soon.
Nice. Well, because I'm already getting hungry. And you said there's some good night fishing too. I'm gonna get your sinkers in there.
Yep.
So let's see if we can catch one right now. And we'll check off like half a box on the shelter and a half, well, that'll be a full box. Well, no, it's only half a box. If we catch a fish, we still have to eat it.
Yes.
And it's gonna be tricky unless we wanna have sushi out here. Because
I don't know about that though.
a whole nother set of problems getting a fire going out here. And you can see how far away the shoreline is. So we're gonna have to solve that problem. There's also some pretty good night fishing here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so,
oh, yeah.
So if worst case scenario, we're not eating during the day, we're gonna be up all night trying to get that box checked off. Well, I'll let you keep fishing. I'm gonna do a little bit more on the shelter and then you're gonna be up.
Let's do it.
You got how many lines set? 2? Just 2 right now?
Yeah, this is the second one right now.
Okay, 2 lines set right now.
So 2 to go after this.
And for the guy out there asking me for an ice fishing adventure, you got it, and we're combining it with survival. And Adam's just along for the ride. He has no winter camping experience.
I'm a rookie, complete rookie.
And so he's trusting me to keep him alive, which I don't know if I would trust myself. Although I seem to have a little bit of a better track record. This is a tough one. This is gonna be tricky. It's cold today. If you can't tell from the beard situation, I am kind of regretting letting it go this long now, but we'll see how it holds up by the end. So back to my mound of snow over here. You guys see what I've managed to do? I know you can't really tell with the snow backdrop and everything. It kind of looks all about the same, but we got about this height so far. Keep plugging away at this, and having lines nearby will mean that we're gonna stick around in this area. And we're staying local. When you do winter stuff, you don't go far. You stay as local as you can. You know, bringing all the gear that you need in order to make it out here is tricky.
Hey guys, well, I'm so glad to have you guys along to put up with all my freaking shenanigans and all these adventures. There's a lot more to come in this video. We're just getting started, but I want to introduce my sponsor. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Manscaped. We've featured the Weed Whacker before. This is the one you jam up your nose and get those hangers out, and then you shove in your ears to get the danglers out. We've also got the lawnmower. This one works around, you know, the base of the tree. Trims around the hedge, if you know what I'm talking about. Well, mostly it's for around your balls. But I want to feature something new. This is for the refined man. After you've taken care of the mess, you want to smell beautiful. And so we've got some cologne to feature. It comes in this beautiful packaging. I can describe the scent as calming, woodsy. It's also hyperallergenic, cruelty-free, dye-free, paraben-free. If you're up for it, you're gonna get the 3.0 kit. That includes everything from the Weed Whacker, deodorant, ball toner. You got some carrying cases, chargers, even a couple free gifts. Use the link down below in the description. Put in the code BEARDSMAN, and that's gonna get you 20% off plus free shipping. That's at manscaped.com. All right guys, now that you're hooked up with your grooming products, let's jump back into the video and find out if we survived this adventure.
Well, you guys don't need me to tell you that staying dry is super important in the winter. So I'm taking lots of breaks while I'm making the quinzee to make sure I don't overheat and start sweating. I have my hood on top because I don't want any snow down the back. It's supposed to be one of the coldest nights we've had this year. Thankfully, there's not a lot of wind, which is a godsend because the wind is super terrible when you're trying to be out here in the middle of the lake because there's nothing to break the wind. But you could make a windbreak. I mean, the shelter obviously is a windbreak. It's a start here. You can see, I got it about 3/4 of my body height, and we're getting there, but it's a ton of work, man. Like, you can see the perimeter I've dug around this circle here, and I'll keep doing that out more and more and more. And the nice part about this is that it gives us a nice comfortable place to walk. It's like shoveling your driveway times about 10 right now. And there's some slush on the ice too, so we didn't make any of the holes too close to the quinzee because we don't want to get slush in here, and then when we dig the quinzee out, we're gonna have to make sure that we're not in the slushy areas. But the slushy areas are only some parts, and that's where it either melts, there's a spring, or it rained. You can see around this hole it's all wet, and so we don't want to get any of our boots wet or anything like that. Try to stay out of it as much as we can.
It's the ice motel.
The ice motel, not quite. We're working on it though.
So I'm sleeping in this thing.
Well, you're sleeping, yeah, you're gonna be sleeping in a mound of snow here.
Huh.
Have you ever slept in a quinzee before? Have you made one before? Probably,
Yeah, like as a kid.
As a kid, that's what I'm saying, right? So it's not any different. It's just the scale is going to be a lot bigger.
We used to dig them out of snowbanks.
Yeah.
Like at recess.
So this is like we're making the snowbank first, and then we got to hollow it out. But I don't think it's big enough, I think, for one person right now. So we're going to have to make it twice that size.
Okay, so we're not going to get all cozy tonight.
Well, it really depends how cold it gets. But no, that's not gonna happen. So yeah, we gotta make it at least twice this. So I think if we expand the perimeter another, about the same, and it's gonna sink a little bit, but I don't want it tall. We just want enough that we can shove 2 human beings in there.
So once we kind of get the pile made, if you want to call it that, how long do we have to wait until we can start?
A couple hours.
Yeah. It needs to settle or sit.
It's called sinter.
Okay.
Yeah, settle or sinter, and that'll make it a solid mount so it won't collapse when we haul it out.
Well,
it'll be interesting whether it keeps us warm.
Yeah, not dying.
Not dying.
And what did I get myself into?
What did you get? You know, you might not be eating today too, which is another thing that you might, you might be like, oh, dude, I don't know, because not only being cold but being hungry.
Yep.
And hopefully not thirsty too. So that's gonna be the trick, right? I'm starting to feel a little thirsty right now, but I'll eat some snow while I'm still warm. That's okay.
My stomach's starting to grumble too. So.
Well, you better get on the fish then.
I'm working on it.
We got our maximum 4 lines out, and that's all we can do now is just wait. So Adam's busy catching up on the shoveling. I'm gonna say he's gonna do all the shoveling, but he's gonna do half because that's part of the deal. Got a bit of a story he told me. He fell through. He's wearing a floater suit, but don't tell his mom he's not wearing it properly because he fell through. And did you made the news and everything? So people look you up.
Yeah.
Does your name show up anywhere?
No, it's just 26-year-old.
Yeah, 26-year-old. Okay, so look up 26-year-old falls through the ice.
Yeah, or 57-year-old.
Because you're with another buddy too,
yep.
And he fell through, and he was stuck in the water with his buddy. Well, you weren't stuck, but your buddy was stuck for an hour. The guy was in the water for an hour, and you couldn't pull him up. And so you held on to him, and then you called, I guess, from cell phone or whatever, right?
Yeah, so I mean. And, we got roasted pretty good online, but honestly, we weren't trying to be unsafe. I didn't think we were being risky. We went out and I had my safety gear with me. And once we set up fishing, we were on 10 inches or more of ice, of clear ice. Yeah. Which is, it's
considered safe. Anything over like 6 inches is fine.
And, people had snowmobiles out, people were ATVing. There was hockey games going on. This was on New Year's Day, so there was tons of people out. And we fished for 5 or 6 hours. Into about 7:30 we packed up and we're walking back to the cars, and I thought we were walking the same path. All of a sudden I heard a crack. I look over and my friend is, he's older, and he's got a couple pounds on me, you could say. So he's like, not to mention he had layers and layers on, so he was probably pushing like a couple bills at least, maybe 300 pounds.
Wow.
And so he fell in, and I knew it. I was going in next. So it was like instantly after he was in, I think the ice weakened, and I fell through. Lucky enough, I caught myself and was able to pivot out. Like my belly button up stayed dry, which I think was a big savior for me. And then from there, tried to get my friend out. The fact that he weighs probably 2x me. Yeah, it was scary situation. So I needed to call the cops or the 911. After I made the call, about 50 minutes later, rescue came and took my friend from me. It was an experience that I don't want to go through again. And it's cliche as hell, man. But if I could send one message out to anyone watching this, no ice is safe ice. And I know you've heard that before, but until something like this happens to you, it happened to me, it could happen to you. So especially early ice, and where we are, it's been a really unpredictable winter. It's been warm. There hasn't been a lot of consistent cold days in a row. So if you're going out there, be careful. Like, spud out, wear a float suit if you have it, wear a life jacket if you don't have a float suit, and don't be like me.
They threw lines out.
They had like this, I'm not even sure what it's called, but it's like a rescue dinghy. It almost looks like a floaty.
So they could scooch out and grab you.
Yeah, and if you guys search it up, they have a drone video of the full rescue. Like, I'm not making this up. It's like a 2-minute clip. They voiced it over with the call. Like, it's pretty intense. I still don't like watching it.
I'm gonna have to link that. I'm gonna pin that in the comments.
No.
Yep. Got to put that in there. Anyway, I fell through a couple times, I told you.
Yep.
And thankfully, I just pulled myself out because it was just me.
Yep.
And the conditions were such that it was possible for me to just bounce back.
we're about anywhere from 8 to 10 inches of ice.
Yeah,
and clear ice too. So that's the strong stuff. I feel very comfortable right now.
And there's no running water. Running water is the kicker, right?
Yes.
Anywhere there's water that moves or there's springs, you got to watch out for that stuff. What do you think? You asked me how much more. I think we're about halfway. I mean, with that loop, I think maybe another, maybe one more round. Like I'll go a little bit more. But the thing is, we don't want to start digging and then have it to be too small.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because then we gotta.
Well, then we're kind of screwed.
Well, a little bit, yeah. So we don't want to. Like, we want to make sure that we have enough to go by where we're not like. And it looks big enough, but like it looks big enough to if we're gonna be like side by side, like right tight, right?
Right.
And the problem is if you're in there real tight, there's not a lot of air. And then we're gonna be up against the snowbanks,
right?
And so we don't want to get wet when we're in there. So anyway, no fish so far, no bites, no fish. The wind's picking up, so it's getting cold. It's like the sun's breaking through a little bit, but we don't think like I'd rather have the overcast. It's not as cold, but it's getting colder almost like with the wind.
Well, it's good. You get a little bit chilly. You do a loop of snow shoveling, and it feels like it was what it was before. Get nice and heated.
Yeah, that's the benefit. Are you feeling thirsty yet?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Stomach's still going.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry now and I'm getting thirsty.
The snow's starting to look advertising to me.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about it.
Appetizing.
I'm thinking about, I don't know, if we'll watch the lines a little bit longer, and then we might have to go get some wood and get on the water situation here. It's going to be hard to describe how big this is. But if you came across it as a natural phenomenon, you'd be like, boy, that's a big pile of snow. Must have taken somebody a long time to do that. And it kind of did. It's almost head height. It's almost as big as two bodies. I'd like to make it a little bit bigger still. I know it sounds crazy, but probably knock the top off. And then there's going to be lots of snow coming out of this, because obviously you have to hollow it out. So we can potentially take some of that snow out and then pile it on the outside a little bit. You don't want to do too much of that because that will risk it collapsing, and that mean we'd have to restart. And it is possible to make these things collapse. Boy, I'm not liking that wind. That's the thing about the sun, and something I told Adam is that, oh, he's got a fish. Fish. Oh, fish. Got a fish on? Fish on.
I got one, baby.
Fish on.
You know, one of the issues fishing in the winter is your drag freezes up, especially when you're not inside a hut. Oh, baby.
Nice run.
We got a laker. Make her a laker.
That was right on cue almost. Ooh. She's running.
Oh, baby. Heart rate is up.
It matters, because this is food, man.
Chris, you got another one, I think. Just wait. I don't know if I left it in the ground.
Okay.
Well, let's just.
Just gonna.
I don't think it's.
Okay,
I think I threw it in the ground. Actually.
The rod's not gonna go down the hole. Well, this is what matters. This is gonna solve a big problem.
Dude, I'm so hungry. It makes the pressure even more so, man.
Well, this is food. This isn't like.
This
isn't dinner tomorrow. This is dinner today.
This is breakfast today.
Yeah,
lunch
right?
and dinner.
Lunch and dinner, potentially. Well, it matters, man. Oh, that's a good fish.
This is a good one.
It's got to be a lake trout.
This is a laker, 100%. Now, if you've ever watched any of my other videos, you would know I always say that, and I always get it wrong.
Well, what else could it be? A pike?
I mean, it could. If it was a pike, I'd expect it to kind of come in a little bit easier, like with more explosive.
Well, we're in 40 feet of water.
Yeah.
You have pike that deep?
So the thing about pike in the winter is like the big pike will just kind of suspend at 20 or 30 feet or so, and they'll be eating whiteys, lake herring, and smelt. So I'm pretty confident, I'm not gonna say 100% that it's a laker, but it's probably a lake trout.
Well, we'll eat a dirty pike.
I love pike. Cold water pike is delicious, by the way.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
So one thing, when these lake trout run, you want to get your rod tip so that the line doesn't scrape too much against the bottom of the hole.
It's got to be closer now.
Yeah, we're getting there. You know what, we gotta...
You gonna need help, or are you gonna be all right?
I'll let you know in a minute.
Yeah, I'll need the tripod, because...
Oh, there's bubbles. This is a lake trout.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, Jesus.
He's just below the ice there now.
Yeah, he's running sideways. You don't want to force these things. There's a leader.
Oh, there's the leader, yeah.
Now the art of this is getting their head steered through the hole.
I just saw a flash.
I'm gonna scoop them here, okay?
Yeah, go ahead. There's the ice, yeah, that's a Laker.
Yep. Come on, buddy. This is a good fish. Come on. Get your head, get your beak up there. Come on. Come on. Come on.
There's a head. Oh, that is a big fish.
That's a good Laker.
That's a good size one.
Come here.
I want to go. Oh, there it is.
Come here. It's barely hooked. It's a dark one. Oh, come here.
Oh, yeah, that's on the edge of the lip there, dude.
There we go.
Get up. Oh, that's a perfect size eating fish, dude. That's perfect eater.
Look where he's hooked. Look at that.
There, oh my God, dude.
That's gonna come right out.
That is like, you cannot hook a fish any more lightly. You're lucky, man.
I'm actually shaking. This is my first fish of 2020.
Well, congrats, man. And it's one that matters the most, too. Dude, that's a sweet looking
Look at those
fish.
colors. Now, some of you guys might be able to locate where we are by the colors of this fish, but I'll leave that up in the air. Nice little secret.
Nice fish, man. Well, nice going. Oh, you weren't full of nothingness.
Well, not fully full of.
What do you mean? You got a fish. You promised to be fish. We're eating now. Well, we got to get the fire going still, which is going to be another job altogether. But that's the perfect size eating.
This is
Laker.
Exactly.
Perfect size.
This is great.
What's that? Three.
I'd probably say 4 pounds.
Say 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like, as a fisherman myself, I'd say 5 pounds.
We got a trophy size.
I won't push it though. We'll say 4 pounds.
No,
beautiful colors.
No, that's, you don't want to eat anything any bigger than that.
Mercury contamination.
Well, you know,
and
yeah.
I like to let the big ones go. So
yeah, it's an older, like the older fish.
Yep.
And you don't, you know, it's good for the species to put the ones back, and they taste better when they're smaller.
Yes.
These are old fish. Like, even though lake trout grow really slow.
Yep.
And they accumulate lots of toxins over the lifetime. So the smaller they are, the better they are to eat. That's perfect. Let's get this guy knocked out.
Yep. We'll dispose them. I like to cut them and bleed them out.
Sure. And then we'll clean them right away.
Yep.
So they doesn't freeze up, because the temperatures today, if we don't do this right now, we're not eating.
All right.
Let's get them cleaned up.
Let's get to it.
Right on, man. Good job. We get to eat.
Relief. I'm not gonna die.
We got one box. Well, no, so we got 2 half boxes checked off right now, because we have a half a shelter and we have a fish to eat, but we still have to we have to cook it unless we're going to eat raw fish, which of course we don't want to do, not unless we have to. No, that one just fell down. Yeah. Okay, cool. Adam's just gonna knock it out with the axe and slit the gills. That'll make the fish taste a lot better. As you know, the blood is bitter. If you ever had a trout and you forgot to remove, I guess it's the liver that runs along the dorsal. I always forget which one it is. I think it's the kidneys that runs along the dorsal. If you forget to remove those by chance, the fish tastes like, it tastes wrong. There's something wrong with it. So the more blood you can get out of the fish, the better. Of course, we could drink the blood. Yeah, we can give it a go on that, but not today. Maybe that's another time we can make some fish blood stew. 1 trout is good for 1 person, I think, but 2 trout, 1 each, is better. That's my opinion on things. So shelter, I think I'm gonna do a little bit more work right now, and then we're definitely gonna go on a wood run, because we got to get a fire going now for sure. If we can thrive on this challenge, that'll be amazing. Man, my hands are freaking cold, so I don't mind going back to the shoveling. So what I've been doing is shaving off the sides, come straight down, and then taking that snow, throwing it up top, and then packing a little bit. Like, it'll pack on its own. You guys know snowbanks pack by themselves, but I want to make a more straight up and down wall so that we have more usable space, because the tail ends here aren't really good for anything, because we're not going to be sticking our heads in the cracks there. So the squarer we can make this, the better. And we don't need a lot of height, but we want to be able to at least be able to sit up on our butt, because it's not comfortable if you're just like staring at a roof or you don't have enough airspace to breathe. So what I'm going to do is go all the way around, do that, knock it down, throw it up top, flatten it out. And shelter is important, super important, especially with this wind coming up, and I know it's going to get only colder from here on out. So let's start shaping this thing out. We got another fish on. reel on the wrong side, Adam.
I was thinking the same thing with you. How does she feel?
Well, it's definitely smaller. It's not fighting yet, but I might switch. As long as I can keep tension on here without messing up, because it's on the wrong hand. It's so weird to reel with my right hand. Who reels with the right hand?
I thought the same thing with your left-handed reel, buddy.
Oh, there's bubbles. So we're gonna
I see a flash.
It is a smaller one though. Small laker.
Dude, I can honestly say that's the smallest laker I've ever seen come out of this lake. I swear to God.
We let this guy go?
Yeah, let's throw him back. Unless the hook swallowed.
It's a little small for a lake trout, eh?
Yeah, that's a tiny one. I honestly, that's the smallest one I've ever seen.
There we go. Okay, just a little laker.
Nice colors though, eh?
Yeah, if we didn't already have a fish, we'd keep this one, but they get a lot bigger than that. So let them go. See you later, dude. Oh, I'm not skunked now. Right on.
Nice catch, buddy.
Yeah. All right, so we got the front here flattened out. Now, it's a quinzee, it's a quinzee, it's a quinzee. But if you've never made one, then you don't really know how to make one. So that's why I'm here, I guess. I'll show you how to make one. But you want to keep some things in mind when you decide where you want to put it. The wind is one factor, so you obviously don't want to be facing into the wind. We're probably going to make a pretty big door because I don't want to get wet going in and out. I'm going to make it like a pretty good sized one, and then if I don't like it, well, then I'll shrink it after. Like we can always mount another layer of snow in here and like make a tunnel after the fact. That's easy enough to do. But what I don't want to do is like a really small door, crawl in, and then be digging up over my head and having all that snowfall on top of me. That's fine when you're a kid and you go inside and mommy puts your stuff in the dryer and gets it nice and dry for you, so you go out in 2 hours. But we're gonna stay out here for at least another, I'd say another 12 hours before we get out of this. So we're gonna be in the stuff. There's no electric or gas dryer out here. And if we've waited long enough, it's not going to totally collapse. You see these big chunks of snow are a pretty good indicator that it's sintered. It's not sintered well, and we are forcing things a little bit. We are risking the chance of it collapsing, but we don't have all the time in the world. We got to get going with things. We got a probably pretty good shelter here now. You guys can come have a look. You know, for one person. Obviously, this is meant for situations where there's lots of snow. I can pretty much lay down in here now. With a little bit more work, I can get my feet all the way in here too, but I don't want to push things. If I push things, I'm going to be in trouble. Deep trouble. So we don't want this to collapse. All that snow I'm moving to the edges here, and then what we can do in case the wind does shift is what we can make is a little bend and close the door up, so we make a little bit of a wind wall on the one side and the other side, and that can narrow up. And then if we wanted to, like I said before, we can pile the snow all the way up and then hollow it out so that we crawl in. But we're adults here and we don't want to be hitting our head and knocking snow down the back, and we don't want to be hitting the roof or anything like that while we're sleeping, because that'll make us wet and cold. More digging. I have a little shovel here too. You can switch over and then start taking off some of the other snow. Hard work with a big shovel to do this, and I can feel that this snow is not very well sintered yet down here on the bottom. And if you have two people, you can have one person working on the inside and the other person just shoveling material out. Almost think you should be taking some of the snow off the roof in order to shrink the weight that this has to carry down at the bottom. But this eggshell dome shape is really what's going to be holding it together in the long run. So we don't want to go through the edges of the roof at all. We don't want to dig too aggressively. Well, we have to restart. I don't think we have enough time to restart. Nice pulling these big chunks out though. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit more concerned than I was when I was a kid about making these, because I don't want it to collapse. You can see I got enough now for a human, but I'm making sure that what I do is I shave off a little bit, not poke in too aggressively with the shovel, because I don't want to make a weak spot where it collapses. It's still sintering, but it's workable. But all the snow that we put in here, now we have to remove except for the shell. So that's the basic premise behind it. And it's notably warmer in here. There is no wind at all. And just my body heat feels like it's heating it up. So I'm probably 1/4 of the way here. Finished right now, which means nothing. There's still a lot of work left to do. I just sent to Adam on a wood run so that we can get potentially some food cooking. And I gotta remember to keep an eye on the lines, which I haven't been doing. But every time I take a load out, I check the lines just to see if anything's happening. Because, you know, 1 trout's good, but 2 trout's better. So all we can do now is continue on shoveling, and thankfully got this little shovel here from Princess Auto. It's just a little $12 shovel, and this is what you would keep with you for a snow expedition. Takes hardly any weight. You can put that in a pack. Oh, I've forgotten how much work that is. Well, as a survival shelter, it's probably good enough. Now we're moving on to thriving, so we're gonna make it bigger. I've had 2 people in there snug, real snug. Too snug, probably. So we still gotta make it fatter, bigger, wider, longer, taller, bigger, better, badder, meaner, tougher, more sheltered, sheltery, shelteredness, shelter. Hope Adam comes back real quick with that wood so we can get that trout cooking, because I need some trouterny. I'm energy, troutney energy. Oh, gotta watch those lines. It's a good day to survive. So cold. His holes are freezing over, which is a good way to lose a minnow without catching a fish. So we gotta make sure we break that up, and then check see we still got bait, because without bait we're not gonna catch any fish. So far no other bites, just the one, well 2 I guess, which I guess is good and it's bad. It's not distracting us from making the shelter, but it only means, well, it means we only got 1 fish to eat. But the priority is the shelter right now, so I'll get back on that. I'd say we're probably halfway there right now. You guys want to come in and have a peek. But I can squat in here, which is good, because you want to be able to sit up. If you can't sit up, that's not good, but you can see like the edge is only over here. That's the other edge. So to fit 2 people in here, to be pretty squished right now. We're getting there. Snow trench, quinzee. Snow trench, quinzee. You got to decide what you want to do. Like I would stop right here if this was like survival. I wouldn't have ever made this. This is too elaborate. This is what the no food, no water, no shelter challenge is about thriving. It's about making things better than just basic. I think we should be able to do that. It's gonna cost us more calories, and it's gonna take more time. It's going to be more work. Just enjoying the quiet in here. Nice to be out of the wind. I think we gotta eat soon there. Trout's gotta get in my belly. The sled's a big saver right now. That's part of the reason I made the door big too. They get the sled in here, and what I've been doing is making the length out first, and then I'm going to knock the ceiling out. And if you do it right, then you can actually knock the ceiling right into the sled. And I'm being super careful not to go too high. I haven't reached the edge here. You can always kind of guess how high you can get away with. Just knowing from the outside. And you can make it as thin as you want, but I don't see any purpose of making it super thin. It's just how big you want to make it at the end of the day. We're getting to be about the full size that we need it to be. Once you got your system, and the rest of it's just repeating. Of course, I don't know where the back of this is. We'll find out. We'll find out soon enough. All right, that's a full load. I'll take this out and dump it. I'm going to show you before I go any further. You see, that means we're done digging. You see that light coming through? I don't use sticks. I know somebody out there is going to be like, I build a quinzee, and what you do is you put sticks in there, and the sticks are 6 inches, and then when you stop when you see the sticks. You can't do that. I'm saying you can't do that, but I don't do that. I just go by feel, by art. Of course, you can make mistakes that way, and maybe you shouldn't if it's the first time making them. Make 6-inch sticks, or 8-inch sticks, or 10-inch sticks, or however thick you want your wall to be, and then stop when you can see the edge of the stick, and then you know you're done digging. Me, I'm happy with that. I'm going to go a little bit higher because I find when I kneel, I hit the roof, and I don't like that because I don't want to drop snow on my sleeping bag. And so the rest of it is just kind of fattening things out, like very carefully. It's more finesse work at this point, and that way we don't risk losing it. There's probably quite a bit more I can take off the roof here so that we can sit up, and then a little bit more on the edges. But you can see I can do my whole arm span here, so we can fit 2 bodies in here now at this point. The rest of it's just cleaning up and then getting our bedding in here. So I think this is turning out pretty good. I'm trying to gauge how far I need to go. I think I can go a little bit farther, or quite a bit farther on this wall here, because I'm not really seeing any light left, or light coming through here. The back wall I think is probably done, and that's done there. Oh, there's the edge there. I could see it just coming through. You guys see that light just coming through? A couple more loads, and then we can do finishing touches, and we can move in, officially move in. We still haven't eaten yet, but I think our priorities are straight. We're working on our food. No, we already got our food. We're working on our shelter first, which of course is everything to do with survival. All right, get a load, dump more. Shovel's a bit too big. Get the little one. This one's a little bit too small. Big shovel is just too tall, it hits the roof. This is gonna be something you're gonna sleep in, and you don't have any gear with you. You're gonna be using spruce boughs and such. Make a nice bed underneath you. There's a full load. Alrighty. Well, Adam's gonna come in here too. We'll see if we fit.
I think it actually is bigger in here than it looks.
It's bigger now than that we have both people in here to see. Like it is bigger than I thought. Like we can both, like I can fit on this side here and you can fit on that side
comfortably.
Yeah, and you can sit up too. Like I think I'll probably do a little bit more sculpting.
You know what's cool about this too? When you were talking in here and I was checking the lines, I couldn't hear a word you were saying.
No, it's muffled, right?
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it was weird.
And when you come in here, the sound's really good too. It's like
it's crisp. Or
yeah,
something.
it's like
I don't know.
It's deadening. Cool. Just shave a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just to tidy everything up, and then we'll make a nice base, and then we can bring our bedding in here.
All right. I hope she stays warm.
How'd you make up? Well, it's not gonna be warm, but
yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be.
I think the main thing is that it's
a wind.
Windbreak.
It's a windbreak. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you're only dealing with the temperature, and I don't know if you guys know, but the wind chill is like a major thing, right?
Yep.
It's like 10 degrees colder in the wind.
Well, it's like -12 today, probably -25 with the wind chill.
Yeah.
So it's double, right?
Yeah. And I feel warm in here.
It's great. I'm comfortable.
So.
It's probably just because we did all this work, but
that's true.
It's comfortable.
How did you make out with the wood? You got some?
Yeah, got tons.
Tons of wood.
We have a big fire and cook some trout.
Well, we should maybe do that.
I'm starving.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that and get some water going too.
Yes.
And then we can do the finishing touches on this.
Sounds like a plan.
Alrighty, let's get
Dude, this is really cool.
Yeah, I made the door big enough so we don't have to kill ourselves too bad coming in and out.
It actually does feel quite a bit warmer in there. Like
yeah,
coming out of there is a little bit chilly now.
I don't know. You're gonna get wet doing it. Like I'm pretty careful. I feel sweaty, which means I need to start drinking. All right, so fire, I guess. Adam wants to show off his spoils he found in the woods. What'd you find?
Well, got a decent amount of firewood to cook some fish on, and I mean, I'm sure we got enough birch bark for a week, but better safe than sorry. I thought, don't want to have to hike back into the bush, so tons of like tons.
That's my favorite.
It's fluffy too, and it's super dry. And
I'm gonna let you man this.
Alrighty.
For now, and we'll get set up. We got I got a stove I want to show off to you guys, so I'll have to throw you guys on the tripod. And we're gonna get our fire going right now, and we're gonna get some food in our belly. All right, so we got a hobo stove here. Adam's got the birch bark, and he's working on a little bit of a mishap. I have 2 rods, and I think one of the rods stayed in the sled, and I think I pitched it in the snowbank. And actually I did look around quite a bit to try to find it, and I can't. So we're without. Anyway, we've got the problem solved now.
Yep.
And that's it. I mean, that's all we need to do.
Way she goes, man.
I think so.
Wait, improvise then. Make it work.
Overcome, improvise, and adapt. I think that's all jambled up, but that's Bear Grylls. So this is called the hobo stove. Pretty simple design. It's got lots of holes in and around to let oxygen come in, and it's got one port down here, which is a feeder port, so we can put wood in there and cook, so we don't have to, you know, try to stuff it through the fish.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So you can like feed it in this way. Now this is a design I think I made 10 years ago or something like that.
So you didn't pick this up at home since, eh?
No. So back when you were 5 years old. But the idea is to get up off the ice, out of the snow, so that we're not melting things.
Right.
And we're going to keep keep a nice bed of coals on there, and we're going to be able to cook without using as much firewood.
Yeah, well, we've made lots of fires on the ice before. I think the issue though is not just like the cold sucking heat energy from the fire, but we're on the ice, so what's going to happen is it's going to make a big pool, and then you're going to have no coal beds. It's going to make cooking next to impossible. So
absolutely,
this is genius.
Yeah, and you don't have to get fancy with
clearly
with a no, you don't. You can use like the tin can or a garbage pail lid, anything like that will do. The idea is just so that you're not sending a bunch of water in your coals, and it makes a huge difference.
Right on.
And then after that, we just light her up, ready to go.
Eric, I'm starving.
Are you?
I'm so hungry.
First time not eating for, you know, a few hours in the day, right?
Yeah,
It's getting on there.
I mean, I think it doesn't help that we have the trout just waiting for us over there taunting me, so.
That's true. So it should light up pretty easily with the birch bark here, and we're protected from the wind inside the pail, which is nice.
Ooh, holy smokes.
It's windy. I think we're gonna turn it this way.
Yep.
You guys are not gonna see all the flamage going on, but that thing took off. That didn't take long at all, man.
No. That's what I wanted to see.
We're just gonna dump it. Get a good bed of coals in, and we might actually have to go cook behind, because the wind's coming this way.
It's not a bad idea.
We might go behind the igloo. All right, we got the fire moved over to the other side, but I don't know if it's any better here. I'm gonna turn the door. Whew. It's not completely blowing in there. Man, freaking wind out here. That's the thing. Like, can you imagine trying to actually cook on here? It'd be crazy. It wouldn't happen. And we're at the back. Like, this is not the windy side, but it's still windy, you know? Well, the wind actually died down on its own, which is a good thing, because we're just getting ready to throw the trout on. And got it all cleaned up and deboned, and we had to decide how we were gonna fit it on there. So I ended up cutting it into 3 pieces. We got the head, we got the torso, and then we got the tail portion of it. And I think if we wait too much longer, I don't know, it's so hot. Like 5 seconds, like I'm like 2. So I might have to wait just a little, like it's 1-2. So much heat giving off there. We're gonna wait a little bit longer before we throw that on. We can throw some spices on there, and then let that kind of soak in a little bit. I don't want to put it on to the point where if I put it on there, it's gonna burn. And it feels like if I put it on there instantly, it's gonna burn. And then it's gonna be, you know, the same situation where it's like raw on one side and like burnt on the other. No good. You're gonna do the honors?
Yeah, honestly, look at this. I get to do this. Feel pretty privileged.
Have you ever tried it?
No.
No. It's the world famous adobo spice.
That's great.
Yeah, smell it. I don't know if you eat it raw, it gives you the same thing, but you smell it. And
It tastes fine.
It tastes fine like that. I've never had it raw. I think you're the first person who's ever tried it raw. Everybody's put it on everything else besides just like
Straight up.
straight up. You're the first guy.
Straight shooter.
There you go.
Let's get her going.
Throw her on there.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, cover it. We want to cover all the nooks and crannies.
Rub that in afterwards too.
Yeah, we gotta get these tails flipped over and then flip that one over too. Yeah, perfect. That's the meaty, the fatty. That's the goodness right there, man.
Beautiful.
And that's gonna cook perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Like we're not gonna add any more heat, nothing. Like it's, oh look at it cinch up.
Oh wow.
Oh, dynamite. Perfect.
Oh.
I'm gonna get some water ready to go so that we're always kind of, we're gonna be using that fire for two purposes. There we go. Got a scoop of water, just lake water. And as soon as that fish comes off, we'll put the water on and then we can check our box number 2 off. Food, fire, water, shelter. The shelter's coming along. We got to get a little bit distracted on that, and I'm gonna go probably, we got a couple hours left. I think Adam's gonna make sure all our lines are still set, and I don't want to go too far from this fish because I don't want to ruin it. That would be bad. That would be not good. I don't want it to get too low either because we're gonna eat raw fish too. But this hobo stove is working out good, and I would recommend you guys make one for this purpose. It's easy enough to carry. Fire lays only work so good, man. Like they're not, they don't go as far as you think they will, especially out on the ice. Once you get that water and stuff, you know, your fire's done. Well, I'm thinking that I can't, you can see the light coming through the back there, I guess. Or maybe it's coming through the door. But I'm thinking that's it. I can't go any more than that. I mean, you can always go a little bit more. But I don't feel like it's safe enough. I risk too much of it collapsing. So what I'm gonna do now is clear out the base so it's pretty flat. Otherwise it's gonna be still pretty lumpy snow. And then I'll do a hand sweep. I got some lumps here just from putting my body on top of it and collapsing it. So compressing, I should say compressing. I'll shave this out and then we'll do a hand sweep and then we can start moving in officially. This has been a freaking ton of work. This is not the kind of, well, I mean, I went overboard, 100%. I went overboard on the shelter. You can see how big it is. Like that's my arm span here. Arm span this way. I'm just touching the back here now, but I got tons of room at the front. So when I lay out, I'm not gonna actually touch the end walls, which was ultimately my goal. Just to give you a sense of just how big this is. Here's my feet, one end, and my body, the other end. So that I would consider is perfect. You don't want to go any less than that. I got headroom. I can sit up in the middle of the night if I need to, not feel claustrophobic. Like he's going to be on the other side. The other side, there's as much room on the other side or more. And that sun is just about hitting the top of the trees there. So we're about to lose some light. Got big snowballs on the bottom of my boots, or my pants, which of course happens like walking in the slush. And then I got to carry that around all day, carrying a few extra pounds of weight just for no reason. If you think I'm being meticulous, it's because, well, I want to have a good night's sleep. It's enough sleeping in a freaking ice box that I don't need to be uncomfortable, especially after doing all that work. But I'm happy with this, really happy. Like this turned out really good. More than I expected. So I just got a little bit more cleanup to do.
Wow, look at that.
I'm just gonna clean up the side here.
Okay.
Just a little sweep and then we can move our stuff in.
Awesome.
But it's looking good.
Yeah, man, it's awesome.
I'm proud of that.
I would be.
That was a ton of work.
Dude, you've been in there for like 6 hours today.
Probably. It's probably taken me 6. You want a piece?
Yeah.
Where's your fork?
A hand bomb. I thought that we were hand bombing it. I didn't get the memo.
It's a special day. Courtney actually, she threw this in with my hobo stove. And I never have a fork, so there's something working in my favor today. She threw it down on the bottom of the this because I pulled it out of the attic.
Pretty good.
That's actually really good. I wasn't sure with all the smoke coming out of there, but it's actually.
Oh man, I'm relieved.
It's actually adding to it.
I just got so much more double spice on that last bite. Oh, that's a good time.
I feel bad giving it to you because I want to eat it myself.
Go for it, man. You need the calories.
No. As soon as this fish is cooked, water's going on. I already got a pot full here. That's Can you stop?
No.
me neither. I'm just trying to do it real carefully so I don't lose any. Yeah. So it is pretty charred. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but that's like gonna be trout bacon.
Ah, well done. Honestly, the fish skin is good.
Why?
Yeah.
Like, cook it with the skin.
Yep.
Like, you don't need to.
I think there's some like nutritional value in the skin as well.
Oh, 100%. It's what the fat is. Like for us surviving today, we need that. There we go. All right, you're gonna go catch another fish, and I'm gonna finish the shelter. Should get in there.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Cool. Right on. There's a success. We got food, and then we're gonna get the water boiled up too. Every sled I take out of here is one human body. So that means just that much more room. Well, that second fish is now done, and we're gonna get it. Oh, it's tender. Super tender. Super warm. Oh, this one cooked better than the first one, by far. This one cooked way better than the first one. I don't even think the skin is burnt on this one. Oh man. That is dynamite. Sun's hitting the top of the trees, which means it's time to get down to business. I'm already sleeping in the freaking refrigerator. So I got a foam mat. Foam mat. And I can tell that my sleep space is going to be big enough because it doesn't touch all the way to the end. And because I'm smart, and I kind of knew I was going to survive today. I knew that was going to happen. I got myself also a sleep mat, a second sleep mat. This one, you guys probably know, is a thermarest, and we'll let that start to inflate on its own. Now just keep the valve closed when you're transporting it so it doesn't fill up with air and then get stuck in the bag. Something my wife likes to do every single time. And then she realizes it after and she can't get it out of the bag and she wonders why. Well, keep the nozzle closed. Silly goose. I think Adam should get his stuff in here next, and then we can see like how much space we got to work with here. What do you think?
Man, a lot of room.
Look how much room there is.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
that's all I need is this section here, and then there's still like.
If you wanted to, you could probably fit 5 buddies in here. Right now.
Yeah, it's a 5-man tent.
5-man tent.
It's pretty good.
Let me grab my gear.
Yeah, grab your gear and let's get set up. I do want to get this water put on, and we'll just put the lid on like so, and that'll keep a lot of the heat in, and then we'll have a nice big I think it's a 2 or 3 liter bunch of water in there, so that'll be enough for us to sip on while we're night fishing. You guys gonna stick around for that? Adam's got a little bit of a different setup. Looks like he's got
the puzzle pieces.
He got the puzzle pieces. He robbed it. Got a little sister maybe.
I wish, man. That'll be a good excuse for this.
So there's no excuses.
Nope.
He's got purple.
Colorful guy.
Yeah, purple and pink. That works. I mean, that's like, you can put that up on the bottom of a shack or something like that, right?
That's what I typically do.
Yeah.
It's to keep my feet warm. Keep your feet off the ice is
like the main thing to keep your like obviously your boots, but like to keep your feet warm, this foam mats are key.
Yeah. So you're gonna try to do 4?
I think 3's enough.
If three's enough,
Yep.
then you'll be able to scooch over a little bit,
Yep.
and then you won't be in the way of the door. That's my ultimate goal, was like so that we could still like come in and out without having to get, because you don't want to get on any water or anything on your sleep. And you got a mat too?
Yep.
Okay, so you got an air mat. So you're doing exactly the same thing.
Same setup?
Yeah, same setup. I got a mat, and then I got a air mattress on
Great
top.
minds think alike.
Yep. And then do you have 1 sleeping bag or 2?
I got 2. I doubled up.
That's all you got to do. If you don't have a good winter bag, just do 2 bags.
Yep.
Just 2 summers, or even if you have to, use 3 summers.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a setup before when we had nothing, and it was just like we brought everything. We brought like 4 bags of like just junk. Because you know, back in the day, you couldn't buy stuff for like 20 bucks or
Right.
whatever.
Oh,
it
I
was
know.
like a sleeping bag was like passed down from generation to generation. They didn't make them.
Right.
You know, I was when Coleman was in the business of doing it, and that was like that's way a long time ago. So it looks like we're going to be good for space. I mean, if you
Surprising,
wanna,
man. This is great.
if you want, you can probably shave off a little bit more
Yep.
over there if you want to get tucked more into the corner.
Oh yeah.
So it's up to you.
Yeah, I
But
could do that, and that way
that way you're pushed way
it'll
over.
fit right in the
Yeah,
side.
I think that'd be the way to go. I did give you that side that I thought was longer, but I didn't shave that out. So if you shave that out, then you'll have a spot for your legs. Our spine is the best part, the fattiest part. Like all that fat. Oh, that's so good. That is delicious. Delicious fatty trout. And you can eat everything. Right down to the spine. Licking the cracks. Get all in there. And then set it aside because this is the only meal we get. Just trying to condense things. Condense our space here. I want everything to kind of be out here. We're gonna drill some holes around the tent for night fishing. You know, we don't have to go a long distance to catch a fish in the dark. And then we'll have to reset it up tomorrow morning for the lake trout bite, which is not so bad. The holes will still be there, but it's only 8 inches, so it's not that hard to reset. But I don't want to be walking around in the dark trying to find things. Is the smoke going in there?
It's getting there.
Is it really?
It's not too bad though, don't worry.
Maybe we'll move it off to the
Kind of
edge.
gives it a nice scent.
Yeah, we won't have any mosquitoes in there.
That's good. I didn't even think of that.
Oh, looks like we're getting all set up, huh? We got the water cooking over here. We got, what do you call this, leftovers?
If you want.
It actually tastes really good.
Yeah.
I ate the whole spine, it was good. So I'm gonna put this this is gonna be like bedside. It's like it's gonna like not as bad as eating chips in your bed. It'll just be like eating chips off the side of your bed. So like put it in the middle. If you get hungry or peckish in the middle of the night, you feeling me?
Nope.
We don't have to worry about bears coming in here. Oh, I love this. How cool is this, man? Like we made this from nothing.
We nailed it.
We nailed it.
This is amazing.
This is a home from nothing. Like fire's going now. The water will be boiling in a second, so we can have some water to drink.
Amazing.
And we got enough wood that should be good for, I don't know, we should last till tomorrow. Hard to say.
I don't know, man.
The spice is
That's where I was going.
the spice is a little shy, but we'll get you next time. I mean, you had a taste of it, so.
It was amazing. He's not lying. It's good stuff. Hey, I caught myself.
Nice catch. Don't forget, there's good shoulders on there. We can make. Oh, should we put it in the water for soup? Fish head soup.
Oh, God.
You never heard of fish head soup? I'm not sure you've watched my channel if you haven't heard of fish head soup. Well, we won't put it in the water yet because that didn't sound like a yes. Let's do it.
I was expecting you to stab this thing in the head and then suck up the eyes and the brain like you usually do.
Well, I would have done it. It just didn't have enough room on the grill. So the question is, like, I don't know, like we can put it on the grill after.
You can use the collars on that thing, right?
The whole thing. The whole thing. Like if I was up for it, I mean, if you were up for it, if I'm up for it,
Yeah.
no, if you were up for it, I just put it in there, and that would no.
Yep, go for it.
You want to try it?
When in Rome, let's see.
Okay, well, let's try it then. So then that'll cover our water too. Like it's gonna be a fortified broth. Like it's not gonna be bad.
I'm not. Go, yeah.
I wish I had some more wood I would have put in there. But
Oh yeah, that would make the difference.
That's gonna fill it right to the top, and we're just gonna let that stew. That's gonna be it. That's it. That's the problem solved right
Well, I
there.
don't want to knock it before I try it. It just is. It's just. It's different.
Do you have a cup?
No.
So I guess we're gonna have to sip out of there.
I'll figure it out.
But oh, that's good. That's perfect. I'm loving this. We got the lid here, but we don't need the lid right now. We'll keep everything tight just in case we're looking for something. Because once it gets dark out here, I don't know. It might be pretty dark with the cloud cover tonight.
Oh yeah, it'll be dark.
So I got everything tight. We should move the lines closer now.
Yep.
Think? Or you want to wait? You think there's gonna like an evening trout bite?
I mean, there's a chance. I keep saying that. Like I said before, let's prep the holes and
Okay. Just drill the holes.
drill the holes, and yeah, and then when it's time, we'll move them.
Rebait, or is like, do we need to rebait? You think we're good enough?
I just don't know if the minnows will freeze up on the walk over. So, but with the burbot bite,
You don't need fresh minnows for burbot?
no.
Okay. All right.
They're not picky. They're kind of like you in fish form, man.
Well, I'm good with that because I don't mind eating anything. But I've never had a burbot. Never had a burbot, so our world is shrinking. And so we're gonna pull all the lines in nice and tight here. It's about 45 feet of water, which is good for lake trout. Apparently it's good for burbot too. I want to see a burbot. I've never seen a burbot in my whole life. Probably one on TV, but I've never eaten one, that's for sure. See the broth already? Look at that.
I do, man.
See the fat on there?
Yeah. Look at how oily it is.
Nope, that's the idea. Checking off the water box. Here we go. I shouldn't have done that because that fish isn't cooked yet. Oh, tastes fishy.
I bet.
I'm just gonna play around with this door situation here. I think we probably keep it open because the wind is not gonna be super strong, but we'll see. We can always kick it off, or we could do like a half door, or we're thinking maybe put both doors on, like both sleds on there, and then we'll decide, you know, what it's like inside. If it's too windy or whatever, then we can.
Well, the idea is that you want to leave a little bit of an opening, or does it need to be like a substantial opening?
Yeah, well, you want enough so that it doesn't condense inside.
Okay.
So as the time goes on, all of the snow is gonna start. It's gonna absorb only so much moisture, right? And then it's all gonna harden on the outside, and then it's gonna stop being that moisture sink. And then
So like there's a little bit opening here. Would that be enough?
there's
or?
probably enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys they'll punch a hole at the back or whatever, like a breathe hole, so that you can have oxygen. But I mean, if we have the door like this, there's gonna be fresh air coming in all the time. I'm more concerned about like being really, really damp in the morning, which is not good. Like they
Cold and wet is not a good combo.
They changed the designs of the tents now, so it's all screen, right?
Yep.
And then you have your fly over top, because they used to be all plastic. And I mean, I don't know. We could try to bring that in there and put a hole in the top and see what happens. The smoke might like go straight out and bellow, but if it doesn't, it's just gonna fill up with smoke. What you got?
We'll find out here in a second.
Oh, what happened? Did you snap them off?
I don't know. I think I went to set the hook, and I think I pulled it right out. Ooh, that hurts. You know, I've probably done that a couple thousand times, and it never gets easier. Turn off my greasy fingernails, eh?
Well, as you can see, we're losing light pretty fast. The soup's on a good boil now. So, and it's just at the right temperature. I just have to put a little bit of wood in there every so often. Adam's just gone off to grab the rest of the rods and bring them closer in. We didn't get any trout. We missed the trout bite, but I'm thinking to the point where we got to get sort of hunkered in, and I got a little lantern here. We got my little O-light lantern. I'm a big fan of that. It throws a nice good light. I can tell you that my hands are ripping freezing right now because I stopped walking around, I stopped doing everything. But I'm gonna blow my mat up. I'm gonna get my blankets laid out. I'm gonna have to go for a run every once in a while, but we're really gonna see how my sleep system works. I got 3 sleeping bags. As soon as that sun went down, it got cold real fast. Well, in all the mayhem, I forgot to put my tarp down, which is crucial. I'm putting my sleeping bag down on the mat. and then the sleeping bag's coming off the edges, and I'm like, there's gotta be a solution for this. I'm just gonna get everything out of the way and then I can throw it down.
So unlike Chris, I'm gonna be double bagging it tonight. This is interesting too, because this is typically a like a double. It's a double sleeping bag for 2 people. So it unzips into 2 separate bags. The inside being the lighter one, and this is the heavier one. It's supposed to be good for -10, so I put it together. So I'm saying maybe -20, so we'll find out.
Yeah, you think you're gonna be warm or cold? What you got?
I think I'll be okay.
You think you'll be good?
I'm pretty conditioned from my fishing adventures, so I don't want to jinx it, but I think I'll be okay.
Whew, that's a lot of material, and that probably equates to like a -45°C high Arctic sleep system. So if that doesn't work, well, you're gonna have to invest more money. How does that look?
It somehow looks less appetizing than it did earlier.
You're not as hungry anymore.
That's it.
But we're gonna put this right beside here, so we can, if you're hungry, you can have a bite there.
Might be like 7:30 or coming.
No, it's got to be later than that.
Really?
I think it's like 7:30.
Oh wow, I'm wrong. It's 8:45.
Yeah, it's.
So it's quarter to burbot bite.
Look at that! Look at how rich that is.
Wow.
We need to put. I need to put more water in there, but that's like, dude, that's like falling apart. The richest soup ever. That's like stuff you crave in the middle. The middle of the night.
Oh no, that and the burnt fish skin chips.
Oh, we could throw the skin in there too for breakfast.
That's a great idea.
Or we can catch a fish tonight.
Let's do it. That's my plan A. You can have your chips.
Gotta give you guys an update. Not much is happening since dark, but we'll keep at it. And you know, the bed's all ready. I don't think I want to go to bed too early. Maybe midnight. I think midnight, and then we sleep for 7 hours.
Okay, we'll call it. That's what I could deal with that. Constant. You have to come out every 10 minutes or so. And not only that, but you're gonna want to pull the drag loose too. Like everything freezes up, the eyelets, the reel, like the drag. I think I said that, but
You cold or something?
yeah. Is it showing?
Yeah. My hand's freezing from this camera. We've just been hanging out in the igloo. I got a little chair set up in here with my camera. When I'm not sitting outside, I'm just sitting here. We're not fishing inside the shack or anything because, well, we didn't want to make any holes in there and get slush. We'll check back in as soon as we get a fish. If we get a fish.
When we get a fish.
When we get Hey man, you haven't disappointed yet, but it's been a couple hours and there was supposed to be like non-stop burbot action.
Oh, no, I should have said that. An idiot.
Yep. So anyway, well, can only get better from here. This is rip roaring now. Just had to be patient on that thing. That's like too high, but I don't think I can do much about it right now. As long as that water doesn't all boil out, we should be all right. That's a nice warm fire.
Hey!
What?
Yeah, we got one. Fish on. What'd I tell you? Quarter to burbot time, baby.
We'll get him up, man. Oh, he's running.
You see the weights.
You think it's a burbot?
Yep.
Oh, it is too.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Look at that.
what the heck, man?
Yep. Eel pout, lawyer fish, freshwater cod, poor man's lobster. If you know another name, write it in the description. These guys have about 10 names. But
Looks like a freaking
burbot.
snake.
Yeah, wild,
It's
eh?
kind of like a mix between a snake and a catfish. Like it's got the catfish tail.
Totally. And they got the bow fin, right? So this
Oh yeah.
this will go all the way. Oh, they're disgusting to touch, but so I think that's why they're called lawyers. They're so greasy, right?
Oh, yeah, greasy. Is that what like a pound? Like a pounder. Pound and change, maybe pound and a half.
Yeah, but look at his gut.
Oh, he's full.
Yeah, so what's interesting about these fish too is that their liver makes up for 10% of their whole body mass.
Really?
So we have to check that out.
Nice.
Yeah, right on. We got one. I told you.
Cool. Sweet. We get to eat breakfast.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to make sure you don't starve.
Well, we got the fish head soup rocking, and now we got some breakfast ready to go too. So we'll get him cleaned out. Whew, it's cold. But thankfully we got this fire to keep us warm. Shaky, shaky, shaky. Adam's locked and loaded. He's inside the tent and I'm getting ready. I'm gonna build up. Well, I'm trying to get warm enough so that I can change. I've already did the top out here. So I changed my t-shirt, my long sleeve shirt, my sweatshirt, and even my toque. So I'm about as warm as I can get on the top, but the leggies are they're still wet. They're drying a little bit, but I can still feel that they're wet.
Tight beside me.
I'd like to sit up a little higher, but you know what? I'm just gonna shove this back, and then we got our chippy snackies back here. You think it's cold in here? I don't know. Like, what's that dragon? What was that guy's name? The dragon, something the dragon.
Dude, my brain is frozen.
I can't think of his name. Breathing fire.
You talking about like a Pokemon?
No, it's like something the magic dragon. The magic
Puff
dragon.
the magic
Puff.
dragon.
It's Puff. That's what his name is.
There we go.
I breathe fire. So I've got my dry stuff in here. I got my PJs, but I feel so much warmer being inside here, which I'm happy about.
All I can smell is that burbot. It's like it's coated my nose. Burbot slime.
I should turn you guys around so you can see the talking. Imagine if that fell.
No.
That's like the worst spot. If that fell.
Yeah, especially for me.
Man, this is hard to do.
Dude, it's tough because you can't put your feet on the snow. You don't want to get your feet wet. And you can't stand up.
We're getting there, boys and girls. I don't know if this is compelling footage or not, but you're getting there anyway.
I don't think people are going to understand that, like, how much of a struggle this is right now.
No. It's a whole another order of magnitude. Fish head soup is fishy and wormy. I don't know.
Tilt it over.
It's like chowder. Like, how chowder does that look?
Oh,
it's
I'm
so
good. I'm gonna pass.
It's so fishy. Oh, I got like the eye right out, straight out, like a glob of something. Just like tons of fat in there too. I don't know what that is.
Oh no.
It's just all like globs of stuff. If you had an issue with like textures in food,
yep,
you could not eat this. Like you would literally throw it up. It's fine. It just needs a little bit of salt. Some pepper.
So is this like straight fish taste?
Yeah, kinda.
It's the chunks that are throwing me off though.
Like, look at that glob. Like that's just, look at it. You see it wiggle?
I do.
Like what is that? There. See that? Just a jelly. Oh, that is that.
Does it all taste the same?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Different textures or all?
Different textures. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just a texture like paradise.
And there we go. The biggest lie of the day.
I didn't say it was good. I just said it was a texture. It's like it's a melee. There's another bunch of like jelly. Maybe that's the maybe that's like bone. Have a sip.
All right.
Do one sip.
Okay, I'll get up. Cheers.
Cheers. We need to bring cups next time. It's just like a bland fish flavor, right?
Stop. It just tastes. It tastes like fish smells.
Pretty much.
I don't know how else to put it.
It's milder even. Like, can you imagine just a little bit of salt in there? Just a touch of salt?
It'd be a difference maker.
You had enough?
Yep, that's good.
Well, we'll save that for breakfast.
I just drooled a bunch all over my stuff.
If
my face is so cold, I didn't even realize it was dripping out.
All right. You getting it coming back?
It, man.
It's coming back up a little bit. Oh shit.
It's you know you get those burps after a good meal that are good. These aren't that.
It's not paying you back.
No. This isn't it.
All right. Well, good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Wish us luck.
Yeah, right?
Hey, good morning. I guess it's a good morning. Feel foggy. Foggy? I can't tell if you guys are fogged or my camera is just sleeping. I think it's foggy. I can get my sleeve up. Oh, everything is sore at the moment. It should be stopping. Oh, I guess it's probably a little bit humid in here. Oh, I better get everything straightened out myself. Oh, this is the worst part though, getting out of bed. So I've been trying to get dressed a little bit inside my bag. Just changed my undie pantsies and my shorts. Is the burbot's frozen solid? Yeah, nice. We're gonna have to heat that up somehow. I'm gonna get out of the tent here because it's too foggy. But I slept. I actually slept. So the 4 sleeping bags or the 3 sleeping bags worked. Adam slept too because he snores a little bit. Not as bad as Jeremy, but definitely a little bit snory. So he woke me up a couple times.
Remember how smart you thought you were yesterday?
Dude, this is the freaking worst. I can't even articulate my pants. They just don't even, like putting my foot in a block of ice. Oh, my boots too. Oh, these are like bricks. I don't know if I can force my foot through there. I don't know, I just can't do it. Oh, there it is. You guys hear that? Oh, there, I'm in. All right, I gotta crawl out because I can't hike these up. Oh, this is like a caterpillar emerging from its den. It's like, you ever seen a caterpillar do that? It's just like,
inchworms, man. I've seen them.
And then this,
Yep.
it articulates one, and then it waits a second in the sun, and
You feel the struggle now, don't you? Go take a look behind you at the roof.
yeah, it sunk bad.
I don't know. Oh yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Here, like, look.
It looks like a crater.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's so sketchy, man.
That's really bad. Like, I don't think this is gonna last like any change in temperature or anything. It's just
No.
gonna collapse.
I'm just happy it didn't last night.
Oh, that is bad.
Yep.
Like this, it should be up here. It's freaking down there. Look at that. That's like the power of the shape though, right? In the sintering, it didn't collapse, but it scooped in so bad.
Like it's not to mention that's right above, like that's right where my head was.
Yeah, I mean, if they fell through, we'd have a big air hole.
That's true.
How those minnows doing?
Dude, they're okay.
Really?
Yeah, it's I was worried it was gonna be frozen like right solid through the bottom, but I can see them swimming still. That's a miracle.
Yeah, we're diehards here. We're gonna, well, I mean, you can't miss the morning bite. The sun's coming out and it's clear, and I'm hoping it's gonna heat up fast. I mean, we're still gonna probably get the fire going and whatnot, but we want to catch a fish here. Whew, that camera's cold on my hands. Punch a few holes because our old holes are no good, and so you can't get a lake trout to cook up and eat. I was thinking about leaving the shelter up, but I don't know. I mean, whatever.
Probably.
Oh shoot! I gotta get the axe to that thing.
Yeah, I might just use my scoop and kind of.
The auger is like, it's frozen all through there. That ain't gonna do anything.
Dude, look, I'm here like spinning it, going, it's not gripping for some reason.
No. Yeah, you're only gonna need to fix that.
Yeah. First step.
Yep. Well, we'll get a couple holes ripped up, and oh man, that igloo from this side looks treacherous. You want to go in there? No, I don't want to go in there. Look at this hole. That's funny. I've had igloos do this, or quinzees do this when I was a kid, but usually would happen over like the course of like the season, so by the end of it, it was all completely sagged out, heating and cooling phases. But I don't think we heated that one out. I think it just it's too fat.
That's the thing with this one. I'm trying to make it fat so we had a space to crawl in and out. Well, there's a little bit of a lesson in, what do you call that?
You think it's maintenance or a lesson on not to be lazy?
Forethought.
Yeah.
Lack of avoiding laziness.
Like the worst thing is like we could have just if you nick these blades, they're done, right?
Right. So you risk that.
Yeah.
You risk like forcing it this morning.
Yep.
So at least you were patient with it. And you didn't like stick the axe in it. Like put it back in the water, soak it.
Yep.
But there's so many things that we did last night just to make sure that everything's kind of ready to go this morning, right?
Yep.
Just forethought, right?
Yep.
And then that avoids a lot of aggravation, but of course it's not fun while you're doing it.
No.
Because there's no payoff, but the payoff is later. So it's like delayed gratification almost. All of your prep work, everything.
Makes a big difference, and it's so easy to put off, but like
Yeah.
it would have been 10 seconds and it would have saved us 10 minutes.
Exactly. 10 minutes
And a bunch of grief, right?
10 seconds yesterday. And then that's just one small example, but there's a lot of things in winter camping and winter survival that if you don't put the forethought in,
Yep.
it's so much extra pain.
Yep.
Like having wood, having extra birch bark means that we can have soup an hour or 2 hours faster this morning than if we didn't have it.
Yep.
Because it's here in camp, right? It would have been an hour round trip, maybe even more, to go get more wood.
Easy.
Go get more birch bark. Instead, collect more than we needed.
Yep.
And it was all ready to go. And the minnows were lucky.
Yeah, I don't know how they didn't freeze solid. I don't understand.
Exactly, and they're free solid, we're out of food.
Yep.
You know, there's no way to catch food, or we're sitting there having to jig with lures.
Yep.
And that's going to cost a lot of time too.
It's gonna be 100% frozen solid right to the bottom fish soup. Fish head soup. Fish head soup. So, hoping to be able to warm that up for brekkie. I always keep my lighter in my pocket. There's a good reason for that, and that's because if I fall in the water, I have it with me all the time. And if I wander away from camp and I get lost, I have it with me. And I have not only one in there, but I have two. And I actually had three in there for a time, but my brother stole it on the last adventure and he never gave it back. So that's why you always have three. Like, they don't cost very much and they're easy to carry, so grab them. You get one lit, hold it upside down, and then, oh, in the wind again. Hold it upside down, and that'll light one, and then you can light your other ones. And then you don't use as much of your lighter. Hopefully this goes right away. We get that soup on, get some holes drilled, get some more food, and continue on with the survival. You see how well that stuff takes off. Just got to make sure that it catches this wood on fire. All right, soup's on, boys. Here's one of our burbot. It's such an ugly fish. Well, actually, it's a kind of interesting fish, like a snake. Anybody call it a snake fish?
Yeah, they get mixed up as snakehead all the time.
Snakehead, right? But it looks like a catfish cross between I don't know, a snake, I guess, a catfishy snaky thing. But Adam got two. I haven't caught one, so I'm gonna have to maybe come back, come back and do a night. Whoa, we're boiling. That was ready fast. We're boiled over. That means that soup is ready. So I'm gonna take it off because that heat's a little high. But we can defrost some of our equipment here too now, in our hands. De-icing.
Ice fishing in one picture, man. I swear it's a good time. We're having lots of fun out here. Trying to get the drag loosened up. There we go. We'll be tied to a small hook and a minnow. It's the simplest form of ice fishing, really, right? I think a lot of people kind of get confused with all the gear, like electronics, tents. You know, it's a lot of stuff. But really, if you break it down to the basics, you need a rod, a reel, and some form of like an axe, a spud to get through the ice, and that's it.
Hook and a minnow.
That's it, man. It's simpler than you might think. It's just, it's tougher sometimes, but it's when you break it down to the basics, man.
Oh, I was looking forward to that. I freaking ruined my soup.
I'm gonna have to put some more water and scrape it off the bottom because all the calories are still there. It's gonna be like burnt fish soup now. Get some slush water. I don't even think this is gonna fall out. Grab a little bit of snow and slush mix. I have to use that fork and scrape it off the bottom. How's it going in there?
Oh my god, it got tight.
It got tighter and tighter?
Yeah.
It's sagging more and more.
Keep going, yeah, it's falling.
Get everything out before it collapses.
But it's actually not burnt too bad to the bottom, which is good. Well, I think it's time for some fishy, heady soupy. It's gonna be a nice, delicious, warm treat, maybe. Or maybe it's gonna just be like burnt fish head soup. Actually, I wanted to, well, there's a couple things I want to do. I still want to eat that, what's it called, a bullhead?
Burbot.
Burbot, why am I thinking bullhead? Put some adobo in there, I got a touch, just a sprinkle. Oh, that's gonna be plenty. I want to save a little bit more for the burbot. Actually, it's probably enough to save for the burbot. So that'll, I think that'll help the fish head soup go down. Oh, that's dynamite. I'm figuring out how to put this burbot on there, frozen solid, but might be able to just gut it, put it on whole, and pick the skin off. We should have got it last night. That's one of those things we should have done last night, folks. But we didn't. Or I can keep putting the soup on and heat it up. Take a drink, put it back. Stay warm. I think I'm actually eating the bones of the fish right now. I think they've been dissolved so bad that they can you can eat the whole thing. Some of the gill plates in there are pretty tough. Some of the bones are pretty mashy. I think it was mostly a handful of bone there.
Nice.
Smoked burbot.
Well, we got all tent all cleared out, which is probably a good thing because we would have had a big disaster. You guys hear that? This thing flooded out completely. We drilled a couple holes out here for ice fishing, obviously, for this morning. And the water has pushed all out. It's filled all with slush, filled all here with slush here. And it's starting to leak through the tent, which is going to compromise, of course, the foundation, the tent, the ice igloo, the quinzee. It's compromised everything. So it's at the point right now where, it would have been a mess. We would have died. I don't know if it would die, but it would have been really uncomfortable. This is hypothermia weather. This is death. It's filled all the way full with freaking water, and there's no end. And we noticed it happening, so we plugged up the hole, and didn't stifle it at all. It kept coming, and to the point where I didn't really notice it filling up. But we had got all our gear out already.
I'm gonna throw a little bit of adobo on there because we got a little bit left, and we have a bite. Oh, there we go. Go ahead, grab a piece there, Adam. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, you go for it first, man. It's the first time having burbot.
First time eating burbot. I don't know what this part is. It looks like I got a little bit of the liver there. Oops, I missed it. Where did it go? I lost it. Oh, there it is. A piece of the liver, I think. Maybe. Mystery meat.
It's good.
That's really good. Nice white meat.
White meat, yeah.
White meat. So, what did you think? More like a perch, maybe? Perch texture? Kind of like that.
Yeah, like a walleye. A little bit like a walleye.
Uh-huh.
Same color.
Yeah. It's got a nice, it's got a real nice flaky texture there, if you guys can tell.
It tastes a lot better than it smells.
I don't find it, like, I don't smell anything, do you?
Dude. No, well,
Wait, it's cooked.
yesterday, like when it was still alive, they stink.
You normally eat the skin?
No, I've never tried it.
It's just as good as trout skin.
Is it? It's
Yeah.
thin.
There's no scales in there that I can tell.
Nope.
A few bones here from the fins, but that's a good meat. I like that. We know if the skin is good, that the meat is good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, this is freshwater cod, right?
Really?
It's the only member of the cod family in freshwater, I think, at least in Canada.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
We did good on this trip.
We're still breathing.
You're still breathing. You guys go check out Adam. I'll put a link down below. We're actually going to hang out here and do some more fishing, but I don't care if you subscribe, but I really do appreciate having you guys along. And if you liked Adam, leave some positive comments down below, and check out his channel. And maybe we'll do another adventure together, because we got some ideas, and I have to look forward to those guys, just like we will too. So catch you on the next one. See you guys later.
Well, now it's safe. So snowmobilers that come through are not going to get hit by the brick wall, or they're not going to hit a brick wall.